Welcome to chapter 16. In this chapter, we will be discussing the legal, ethical, and privacy issues of being a certified aromatherapist. Now, in the textbook, it's being listed out what we should do, what we should not do, and it's pretty straightforward. You can actually read it up on your own. But what I would like to highlight is that we should at all times only practice within our scope of practice. So if there are any issues that's being brought up by our client that requires something or some expertise or knowledge that's beyond our area of practice or area of expertise, then we should refer them to another professional or refer them to a medical practitioner. We should also never diagnose any conditions. What we are here to do is just to guide them, right? Guide them and show them a way of how they can use aromatherapy as a complementary therapy to better health and wellness. Now, at all times, we should also be aware of what our client is facing. We should always ask them questions about whether do they have any medical history that we do not know of, and constantly ask them more questions relating to their health state, emotional state, mental state. We need to do enough fact finding before we can recommend any suggestions. We should also always advise them of any precautions or contraindications to take note of, and we should always carry ourselves professionally, all right, when we provide any advice or recommendations. We should always put our client's interests first as a priority. And at all times, we need to be very mindful. We need to be very careful about client confidentiality, the client's data. We need to keep them properly, and we need to ensure that we carry ourselves at the highest possible professional level. We do not divulge their confidentiality to anyone unless required by law. All right, and we should also never discriminate against any race, religion, sex, because we are here to provide the same level of service, expertise, and knowledge, to our clients. We need to always remind ourselves that whatever we do, whatever we recommend, it is really done out of care for our client and ensure that we have done all our due diligence. Now, when carrying out our legal responsibilities as a certified aromatherapist, we need to know what we are liable for as well. All right. So when you are a certified aromatherapist, you actually have the option to purchase a professional indemnity insurance, and that actually helps to protect you in the event that there is any dispute with your client, or your client is going to take you to court for whatever reason. We need to also be aware in your specific location, your specific jurisdiction, what are some of the certifications that's required, or what are some of the legalities that's required, legal entities that you need to register for before you can carry out a business. Can you actually carry out your business from home? Or is there like a specific kind of home that you have to live in before you can conduct business? And if let's say you need to touch your client, like provide a bit of massage service together with aromatherapy, if it requires you to touch their bodies, do you actually need to be a certified masseur as well? Do you need to have certain certifications, or do you need to register with the police or any of the regulatory authorities? All these are the things that you need to find out on your own where you are at, you know, because different countries have different regulations. Now then, the next thing is you need to know what is the best business entity that you need to register for your own benefit, you know, that actually protects you and at the same time is cost effective. So you have to ask yourself, if you are going to practice as a certified aromatherapist, is it okay if you just practice as an individual, you know, as a freelancer, without registering any businesses? Or are you required by law to at least register yourself as a sole proprietor? Or is it better if you register a business, a company, you know, that is like a private limited that limits your liabilities? Because if, let's say, you register as a sole proprietor, or if you practice individually, if anyone sues you, you are liable for everything personally, right? But if, let's say, you set up a company that is limited by a certain paid up capital, even if you're sued, all right, that's the most that you will lose. It will not affect you individually. So these are some of the things that you probably need to discuss with a company secretary or a lawyer who knows company law, you know, who is familiar with setting up of business entities, professionals in that area to advise you better if you don't know, okay, in your particular country. So these are some of the things that you need to look out for. All right. So these are some of the things that I want to highlight for this chapter. The rest you can read up on your own, do your own independent research, and complete whatever homework that you need to complete. All right. So that's all for this chapter, and I will see you in chapter 18.